Right, have we all got a list of the Oscars in front of us?
No, but I'll let you guys lead me through.
You lead us into the episode, we'll lead you through.
Yeah, exactly. As always, I will do the bare minimum required of me other than being fucking charming. It's nice
to start that.
We've got a triangle now. My mom was saying the other day, she was like, it's lovely listening to you because you're charming and personable and everyone likes listening to you, Gary. And she was like, I like listening to Ryan because he's just so quick, he's funny. Audio Boy doesn't say much, but he says has real worth. And Gavin's there as well.
He's breathing.
It's nice to know that Gavin's still alive week after week.
Yeah, it's like every time I tune in, I know he's still alive. So that's good.
It's good. Who was it? Was it Dave? Somebody commented the other day, Gavin needs to blow his nose.
Do you know why that was? It's because the last 2 episodes I was really sick, not because of drugs.
The fact you have to quantify that makes everyone think.
Just had to say it.
Now we all do.
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
There's our intro. Hello, ladies.
It's meandering movies, listening to Gary, Ryan, and Gavin. It's all about films, but goes off course. Will there be arguments? Of course, 'cause everyone knows their lives are dull and they have nothing else to talk about.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Andrew Movie Podcast, where we talk about movies and pretty much everything else. After the last 3 weeks, where we have talked about our best movies of the entire decade. That's 2010 all the way to 2019. And as I got explained last week, that is 10 years, not 9 years. That's on me. We're now going to be talking. We're going to go back to our grassroots beginnings, where we're just going to talk about films.
Yeah. Woo. And this is a bonus episode.
Bonus episode, because we wanted to get this one out before the Oscars.
Yes.
Because we got some stuff to say about the Oscars. We're not going to go into the deep dive of every category because that would be boring as fuck.
Who
but
cares
we are going to
about fucking editing?
Editing and like editing is important, but
I mean, unless year, so it's clearly not
unless
important.
you're super into the world of editing and audio design and sound mixing, you ain't going to know who the people are anyway.
The visual effects category this year.
But what we are going to do is we're going to take the 4 biggest categories, which are
Panther?
Best Film, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, and are we going to do animated as well?
We'll see what happens.
You used to have seen all the animated movies, so
yeah,
or mostly all of them.
I think I've seen all. I haven't seen the hand one, but we'll get to it. Right? Should we just fire in? I'm, as always, your big host, Gary. Big host. I don't know.
Okay.
I was kind of treading on your ground there.
Yeah, I'm your wee host, Gavin,
and I'm your perfectly average-sized host.
Big
Skills.
chopper over here.
You're our snack. And on this mic,
I
sitting
can be
behind
whatever
me.
size I want to be, and I'm not seeing what size I am.
I know what size you
He's
are.
the same size as the mice and cats.
I've seen you walking around in boxes the other day. Jesus.
What, his orange fell out of his...
I don't know why you were carrying that potato in your boxes, but no, it wasn't fooling anybody.
And it was baked as well.
It went everywhere. Smushed.
Yeah, was it covered in coleslaw?
Should we just get cracking? What do you want to do first?
Best Picture.
Film?
So Best Picture, we have got quite a hefty. Are there always this many films in the Best Picture?
Well, I was reading something about this. So there has to be
allowed-
minimum of 5 films, maximum of 10.
But they haven't done 10 in a very long time. They've always done 9.
Yeah, and it's 9 again.
Because it makes
9 this year.
no fucking sense.
So this year we have got Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time, and Parasite.
So,
In summary,
first thoughts.
I don't think it's as bad as Gavin thinks it is. I've mentioned this previous to recording.
I think, all right, so I first read of that, I remember texting you being like, that's dull as shit, Gavin. And you said, yep. And then we talked about it just very briefly before we started recording. And I'm kind of with you, Ryan. It's not as bad as I thought it was on my first read. But I think what the problem is, compared to just previous years, and actually having the double whammy of like last year's was okay, actually, didn't we? Last year we had...
last year was a fucking train wreck.
Last year was, well, because of Green Book and Bohemian Rhapsody. But we did have things like the
Black
Favourite.
Panther and Black Klansman and all that guff.
There were some good films in there.
We had The Favourite, Vice, and Roma.
I would say that the films this year, my biggest problem after rehearing the list is like, is there anything I would have deemed like Oscar worthy? Yeah, you know.
Apparently, Little Women I've not seen.
Little Women I've heard
Oscar-worthy.
is phenomenal. I would say my instant reaction to that would be Jojo Rabbit, which I
1917.
which I'm looking forward to seeing this weekend.
Me too.
And I probably have a different opinion once
Yeah.
I've seen it, but
I also have not seen Parasite as well, which apparently is again phenomenal.
I have seen every movie except Parasite, and of all these movies, I would say 1917 and maybe Jojo Rabbit are Oscar worthy.
oh man, I think Jojo Rabbit's 100% Oscar worthy. But then I just want to talk about Jojo Rabbit. Can we just do an episode on Jojo Rabbit?
I think it's really annoying though
Please.
that if we look at picture, like best picture is coming there, but Taika Waititi is not mentioned in best director.
yeah.
Yeah, because without Jojo Rabbit, without Taika Waititi, Jojo Rabbit isn't the movie that it is. So
He didn't
to
just direct it on his own, to be fair.
I know, but like he's had this vision for this
But
movie
then-
long before he did What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
This is a movie that's been in his head for a long time. So
He
to
also
not-
wrote it,
Yeah.
and he plays Hitler.
Plays
So
Hitler in it.
to not acknowledge him in Best Director, but give him a Best Picture nomination, just shows the sheer blindness of the
Yeah.
Academy
Yeah.
in so
It's
many
super
ways.
shallow.
The other director was a woman though, right?
What do you mean?
With Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, Carthy Neal.
Yeah, so they
She
could have
co-writer.
was she co-writer?
She co-wrote
Oh, so
it, yeah.
Taiko directed it.
He-
Directed it and co-wrote and then starred in.
Ah, okay, cool. I thought he co-directed it. Oh, my pen.
I mean, just going down the list, Ford v Ferrari, a good film,
Ford v Ferrari was better than 100% better than I anticipated.
very entertaining.
Very entertaining.
Not in any way did I even think about it.
I didn't think it was gonna be an
my
Oscar
favourite films of 2019
nomination.
or a fucking Best Picture nomination. The Irishman. People know I fucking hate that film. It's 3 hours of nothing. It's empty. It's old. It's tired. It's sad.
I've again heard one of my friends has talked well about that film, and everyone else has either been scathing or just like, yeah, it's very long, and I watched it.
Yeah.
Jojo Rabbit, something beautiful that just can't be
I
matched.
loved it. Love Jojo Rabbit. It's
So good.
I think I don't know if I've said this on mic. If I'd seen that in the end of last year, which I don't think I could have done because it was 1st of January, right?
Yeah.
So I couldn't have done. But if that film came out a day earlier, that would have been in my best of.
That would have been my best film of 2019. then,
Yeah,
absolutely.
easily. It
That
was
was the best
fucking
film I've seen in
phenomenal.
the cinema for a while.
It's I fucking loved it. It's beautiful.
Joker.
And what I like, sorry, just very quickly on Jojo Rabbit. What I thought it was going to be really heavy on the comedy, but it's like every time
It's
you think the
carefully
comedy is going to
matched.
So balanced.
overplay itself, it kind of stops and it goes back to being either storytelling or just like emotional shit.
Yeah.
Like
Perfect.
its ability to go from a really funny kind of sarcastic scene that's so well written,
Hmm.
and then just kind of shift it into this really dark, dramatic moment that's like kind of takes you back, and you're just
Yeah.
like, but you're
It just navigates such a difficult subject so well.
and it
so
never
well.
feels jarring. It never feels like,
Yeah.
oh fucking, that doesn't make sense.
And then
Like,
you get the third act. When the moment the third act hits, it's just a fucking emotional powerhouse
Yeah.
through to the end, pretty much. Like,
Yeah.
which is
But there's
good.
also some of the funniest bits.
Yeah, totally.
Not spoiler related, but the best bit ever is when
Heil Hitler.
it's
Hi
when-
Hitler, hi Hitler, hi Hitler.
the best bit is when I can't remember his little friend's name. Kevin McAllister.
Yorkie.
Aye, and he's like, when Yorkie is obviously in the Hitler Youth, and he's like, they're coming in, and he's like, the British are coming, the Americans are coming, the Africans are coming. He's like, the whole world's coming. He's like, in fact, the only people that are on our side are the Japanese, and between you and me, they don't look very Aryan. It's so good, man.
It's a fucking
I actually
solid joke.
felt bad about how much I was laughing at that in the cinema. Like, I
Yeah.
felt guilty for the people around me. It's so funny.
I laughed pretty hard at that joke.
That
It's a good
weekend
joke.
has got a really good future. Both boys in that film actually do.
He's the wee boy who plays Yorkie's cast in something.
He's Kevin McAllister.
Yeah, that's
isn't
what
he?
you're. Yeah.
Fun fact, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you the story, but I'm going to do it anyway. Hannah's parents' house, next door neighbor, her son's like an actor, and he's done
An actor.
He's an actor, and he's done like a few things with the BBC. And she was like, came round to the house one day, and Hannah's mum was telling us like, "Oh God, Elaine was around," because I had her on Facebook.
Hey,
and
Elaine.
I batched her.
Bigs
'cause,
up to
like,
Elaine.
Man, she's just incessant. And she came around. She was like, "My boy, I can't remember his name. He's got a film. I'm not allowed to talk about it. I had signed an NDNA." Yep, had signed an NDNA. Can't say anything about it. Except it's about World War II, and Scarlett Johansson's going to be in it. So he was. There was two sets of kids, and her son was the first pick to play Jojo, and the other boy was going to play Yorkie. And then at the last minute, 2 weeks before they started filming, they switched it, and they took the two kids that we've got in the film. And Hannah told me that story, and I was like, good, fuck it, like.
Also, they chose so well because the kid who plays Jojo, brilliant,
Perfect.
fucking brilliant.
I'm sure your son's going to do well one day, Elaine.
Well, he's a lot older than the kid that's in Jojo Rabbit as well. Like, I can't imagine.
29.
But I can't imagine the kid that's in Jojo. He's playing ages what, like 11 or 12?
12-year-old got a beard.
I think he's 14.
Yeah, but he looks 10 to 11, right?
Yeah.
That's what he's playing in the film. Whereas that kid, I think, is probably 14, but he looks. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
look like he's got a playing age of 10. He looks like, which is what I said to Hannah, though. Maybe that was the idea that they were going to do. Originally, it was going to be they were slightly older kids, and then they thought this works better if the kids are a lot younger because they're kind of not quite as
naivety fits in.
naivety.
And then I think obviously the relationship with the he has like the Jewish girl is more complicated because obviously she's quite a bit older than him and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. So yeah, but there you go. Fun story.
So next film on the list, I don't think we'll talk about it as much as we did that one. Joker.
oh fucking hell.
Can anyone believe this? Like,
But it feels to me that the Oscars list nowadays isn't a list of Oscar-worthy films. It's a list of, like, here's 3 films that are worthy of an Oscar, and then here are 6 films that are just the most talked about.
Yeah, it's like they Google top films of 2019 and they were like, yep, done Oscars
And
list.
it doesn't, like, it's like Joker has, 50-50 bad reviews and good reviews, but they're just like, oh, it's up there on the top 10 list. I'll just, yep, cool, that's my vote.
I mean, yeah, if you look at last year when you had like Black Panther and A Star is Born,
Bohemian Rhapsody,
Bohemian Rhapsody,
Green
like,
Book.
these were films that were kind of like either the music was charting, or it was popular because Queen's in it, or it's got Lady Gaga, or it's a fucking Marvel movie about social economic issues and that kind of stuff. It's like, fuck it, we'll nominate those, even though they don't have anything worthy of being nominated and considered best pictures.
Yeah.
And Joker is that. Where it's like, apart, and we all said it in our review episode, which feel free to go back and listen to, is apart from Joaquin Phoenix, this movie has fucking nothing. Like, it's a fucking mess.
I think the main thing that we realise when we look at this list is that people who decide this don't give a shit about films.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, we know this from like when I think this is the first year where instead of sending out packages filled with the Blu-rays of all the movies for people to watch, they finally set up a private streaming service that people could log into. So like, all the people,
Sending people the VHSs.
so it's like anyone who's just a part of the Academy and a part of
Just gets
the
to log
voting,
in now.
They get to vote. But we've seen in the past their attempts to vote. It's like, oh yeah, my kid liked that one, so I voted for it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I didn't see these 3 because it didn't look very good, so I went for this one instead. Or that's the only one I saw, so I voted for that one. It's like, this isn't how.
This shouldn't be how that works.
No, it's just like,
They should. I don't understand, but why is it not like peer reviewed? Every year, here are 50 people that we pick out, and maybe
Like jury duty for films.
fundamentally, like
or
and you
film
pick,
festival.
pick 5 editors, 5 actors, 5 directors, 5 Joey Publics. You know what I mean? Like 5 of each category, and then you're like, right, guys, you have to see all of these films by the end of this point. If you haven't seen all of them, we won't be accepting your votes. You know,
I mean, I think at
that's how
this
we do
point,
it.
it's just legacy bound. Where it's like, this is the way we've
fucking
been doing it. So this is
madness.
the way we'll continue to do it.
It's stupid.
The legacy bound thing is this is not this worst issue in cinema though. So.
No. But
Shall we move on?
next movie, Little Women.
Little Women.
I've seen it. Audio Boy's seen it. I used to have yet to see it.
I've heard-
Is it good though?
It's so surprisingly wonderful.
Cool.
Like, I like Greta Gerwig as an actor and as director.
Define surprisingly.
Just going
Well,
off
it's
what I
about
s-
women, so Gav thought he
No,
was going to hate
fuck
it.
it, no.
Yeah.
What-
It's also got women in the title.
No.
It's directed by a woman. It's produced by a woman.
And it's about empowering women. So Gav went in with the expectation to hate it and came out thinking, well,
He went
you
in
know what?
expecting to fucking Chinese burn himself for 2 hours.
I feel like it's this weird like I feel like women deserve my what's the word I'm looking for? Respect, maybe? No, that's too much.
No.
We like to build character for one another. I don't like this character that you continue to build for me.
Well, you built it for yourself.
No, I didn't. The reason I say surprisingly is because when I saw the trailer, I thought it looked like a kind of
Trailer looks bad.
one of those kind of pulpy novels from like the 30s, which is like, oh, I just want to fall in love with Prince Charming, but there's the outlier who's a bit of a rebel. It's like, oh, I've seen this movie before. Then you watch the film, and it's 4 very distinct characters, 3 of which have great actresses behind them, one of which being Emma Watson is not good in the film. and they're so.
She's not good in the film.
She's the weakest link.
Is it because she's maybe quite a terrible actor?
Yep, that's definitely it. Whereas Florence Pugh, Saoirse Ronan, and the other girl whose name I don't know are just brilliant.
She
And
pronounces
both
it Saoirse.
Florence Pugh and Saoirse Ronan are nominated.
Nominated, deservedly so. I
They
feel.
also have costume design, music, and writing.
Yeah, it's like
Pretty good.
the movie's it's so brilliantly put together, minus some editing continuity issues that I noticed. I was like, oh, that's very glaringly bad. But apart from that, it's just like like I
You ever
said.
tried to make a film? It's probably really hard.
Yeah, I said to Audio Boy, the thing that holds that film up and makes it so great is those characters.
Yeah.
Like I was so, even Emma Watson's, like, even her character's really interesting because of the dichotomy between them all. Where like Saoirse Ronan's this sort of person, and you're like, oh, this one character could
Who's Saoirse Ronan?
She pronounces it Saoirse.
Saoirse.
Okay, Saoirse Ronan
Saoirse.
is this
Saoirse.
type of character in the film, and you think, oh, she could lead the whole film by herself, and she could have this kind of like, I'm going to blast my own path, and I'm going to become a writer, and I'm not going to let any man hold me back. But at the same time, on the other side, you have Emma Watson's character who's like, I just want to settle down with a man, have kids, and just live in a nice house
Yeah.
and have money. I was like,
Both of which are absolutely fine, by the way.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the great thing about the movie is it present, and then Florence Pugh's this other character,
And
like,
the book.
she's quite.
Can you tell Gavin's never read it?
No, I've never read the fucking book, but it's like Florence Pugh's this type of character. But the great thing is, all four of them balance each other out and give us a great insight of like, you can be any of these people,
Yeah.
and it never tells you that this one's bad and this one's good, and it's really well constructed.
I think that's the one bit in the trailer that I do remember being like, oh, okay, it looks semi-interesting, is when Emma Watson says to Saoirse Ronan, like, just because I want to have kids and a husband doesn't mean I'm any worse off than
Yeah.
you. It's just, it's not your cup of tea, but it's my cup of tea, so fuck off.
Although I haven't made mention yet of Timothée Chalamet, who just continues to be fucking immense in whatever he's in. He's just so good.
Saoirse
Yeah, but,
Ronan is the same. She's not
yeah.
really done a
And
bad
the Brown
film.
Show.
I
Florence
know
Pugh.
her down as well.
Florence Pugh's gone from like, what was the first thing I saw? Lady Macbeth. I just saw her in this kind of small little British
Yeah.
film, and she was fucking amazing in that. And ever since then, it's just been like great film after great film after great film.
Yeah.
Like Midsummer last year, she fucking owned that entire experience.
Yeah.
And then with Little Women, she steals so many of the scenes because she's just so out there and exciting.
Next film.
Marriage Story.
Haven't seen it, but it's on Netflix, right?
Yes, it's directed by.
It's weird that it's on Netflix.
Noah
Noah
Baumbach.
Did it come out in cinema?
You say Noah Baumbach. I say Noah Baumbach.
Oh,
Did it?
interesting. We're probably both wrong.
Yep, definitely
Didn't come out in the cinema. No, it was a Netflix original release. I
Was
think
it?
they did some screenings in like New York and stuff.
Yeah,
But
the
Right,
way
okay.
Netflix works it for some of these big time directors like your Scorsese or your Noah Baumbach, however I want to say it, is they'll do like day and day release. Like we'll release it on Netflix and the same day release it in theatres.
Yeah.
So for Uncut Gems, the Safdie brothers' new film with Adam Sandler, it releases the 31st of January in the UK and also the 31st of January in cinemas in the UK. But America have got the Netflix beforehand.
Cool.
So they'll do that for like big directors like that, but for smaller people they're like, we'll
just
release
stick
it on Netflix.
Netflix.
absolute side note, Uncut Gems looks fucking great.
It does look
Yeah.
so good.
Adam
Surprised
Sandler.
Adam Sandler hasn't been nominated.
Well, yeah, but have you not seen
It's too late.
Have you not seen the thing with it though?
It's not out in the right
What's
time.
the thing with it?
Well, Adam Sandler's basically saying, well, I think it was. I think he's just been. I don't think it was. I think they released it in time.
Did they?
But Adam,
Yeah, he
because
got
Adam,
nominated for
Adam,
Golden Globes and all that.
Adam
Sorry.
Sandler's come out and said, if I don't get an Oscar nod, I will promise you I'm going to make the next film I make is going to be horse shit. Like you thought Jack and Jill was bad, it's going to be 10 times worse. So now everyone's like, Adam Sandler, do it,
Please.
Adam Sandler, please.
This has got quite a lot of nominations: actor in a leading role, actress in a leading role, actress in supporting role, music and writing as well. All for Marriage Story.
Yeah, Noah Baumbach is a director who writes like such brilliant characters and then puts them in a situation where he just lets them go at each other. And Marriage Story, like
This film is so good.
his previous film, The Meyerowitz Stories, starring Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller and stuff, is probably my favourite film of his because it's this dysfunctional family that just explode at each other, but they still care about each other.
Yeah.
Marriage Story is almost also kind of like that, where it's like it's the breakdown of a relationship in the most brutal way, but at the same time, you're just like, I don't want to stop watching these people interact with each other. Like just the idea of Adam Driver putting a car seat into a car and the argument that comes from it, you're just like, I don't know why this shouldn't be
Just
fun
so
to
much
watch.
frustration as
But it's
well. And
just
like,
like, oh.
he's trying, like, it's about a divorce
Yeah.
proceedings and a couple with a child, and how, you know, they want to live in different places, and how fucking brutal it is with lawyers and things to have this shit. Like, as it starts out, Scarlett Johansson's like, I'm going to get a lawyer. Adam Driver's like, I don't want a lawyer. You can just have half the stuff. Like, I don't want to fight. It's like, they both want to get divorced.
Yeah.
There's also the kind of sense that maybe Scarlett Johansson wants it maybe a little bit more than Adam Driver, but they both decided it's for the best. But she goes down this kind of like, Laura Dern becomes her lawyer, and like she's really brutal, and she's like, we'll take this, and we'll use this thing he said and like all these years ago and all that kind of stuff. And it's fucking, and he's just like, I just want to get this over with.
Yeah.
It ends up costing him fucking so much money because he has to pay for all these lawyers. Eventually he gets this really nice lawyer. He's like, finds like the nicest guy he can to support him.
What's the name of that actor?
Alan Alda.
There you go.
And,
Alan Alda?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Alan Alda.
He does that in the film.
He does, and then he says it.
That's
And
a
he's
good
like, "Oh
Alan
no,
Alda impression.
I know I'm not. I'm a lawyer." And then he eventually has to get this shitbag guy because he's like, "Right, this is what we're gonna have to do." And
Yeah.
all while traveling from 2 states in America. I can't
Sweet.
remember.
York
That's
and Los
going-
Angeles.
You know
New
what?
York and LA.
I'm putting that on my list.
It's long.
Marriage.
It's not that
Story.
long. It's like 2 hours, 2 minutes.
It's not too bad.
And there's this. I think we all know the scene that.
Oh fucking hell!
It's like-
I don't know the scene.
I'm not going to spoil it, but it's like
Okay.
it's just like they both sit down to be like, okay, let's have a conversation, and woof, it goes
It's
places.
insane, man. And it's like that's like I think it's 7 minutes long or something.
And
Nice.
Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson, one man from The Rise of Skywalker and another from the Marvel machine, just give some of the best performances.
I think Scarlett Johansson's had a fucking great year.
She really
she's
has
really
had a
good in
great
Jojo
year.
Rabbit as well.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
It's a shame
Jojo
she's about to
Rabbit.
tank it with a fucking Black Widow movie. The next on the list
Okay, David Harbour's there tanking it for her.
is 1917, which only Audio Boy and I have seen.
This
Is it
weekend.
good?
I will be going this weekend.
1917
Oh boy, yeah.
is something to just look at in astonishment.
Yeah.
At how any of it came together.
I gotta say though, I think I talked about this on Mike maybe 2 weeks ago, or it might have even been off
Who's
mic.
Mike?
My friend.
Oh.
I talked about it, I can't remember when, but I'm sure I said to you about they're claiming it's like, oh, it's a one-shot film,
It's not.
but it's not.
No.
I don't understand why
It's
they.
like The Rope by Alfred Hitchcock.
I don't understand why they're claiming that. Just say like we aimed to make it look like it's one shot, but it's very clearly not one
Here's the two
shot.
things. One, when the cuts happen, if you're someone who watches a lot of movies or has watched a lot of quote unquote one take movies, you can see where the cuts happen.
Yeah.
But they are smart in some places to find them. There is
But why claim it's a one-shot film if it's
because
not?
you can put it on the posters.
Oh, it's so fucking stupid.
What this film is not is not the 2017 movie Victoria, which is a one-shot movie.
It's also not the,
1917 does have 9 other nominations. Though.
It's also not the 2016 episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Charlie's Work, Charlie's Day,
Charlie Work.
Charlie Work, which is also a
20-minute
one-shot
episode, 2-hour movie.
one-shot episode. Yeah, but they actually did it in one shot. Whereas
So-
1917 did fuck all
Yeah,
in
but
one
Victoria
shot.
did it in one shot.
What, the whole film?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's really nominated for. Just going to get you guys off this fucking weird argument we're having. Cinematography, directing, makeup, music, product design,
Well, you can
sound
scrap the
editing, sound
cinematography
mixing,
part, 'cause
visual
it's not
effects.
done in one
writing.
shot.
No,
What
it's
you
not.
only, so to be nominated for cinematography in the Oscars,
If you're
you have
claiming
to
your
do the
film's
film.
done in one shot and then it's not done in one shot, you fucked it. You don't get the cinematography nomination.
No, you understand when you look at this movie and the
See, when you
framing.
watch it, you will be a changed man.
Andrew, he doesn't mean it.
When you watch the framing of certain
Our friend
shots,
Andrew also worked on this film as
My
well.
friend,
in
yeah,
the
shout out to
cinematography
Andrew who worked in the
department.
film. There's
Get
framing
him
of
on the
certain
podcast.
shots. There's one where like there's a dogfight with planes happening, and the way it goes from
It's a
there.
plane fight, mate.
What?
Plane fight.
Yeah, dogfight. It's the way both Mendes and his team frame certain shots where like you're here and something's happening here, and next minute all of it's there on top of you. And you're just like, wait, how the fuck did that just all come together and happen?
Yeah.
This is amazing. You're just like, it's
I'll
like
tell you how. They stopped the camera rolling.
Oh
they
my
moved
god,
it.
this is your weird thing.
But just don't call it a one-shot film.
Who cares?
Me,
I
clearly. It's not, and in fairness,
Okay,
it's not
not what it
the
says.
film's making, like, it's not their fault. It's the fucking marketing team.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
made
Once
to
Upon a
look
Time
like
in
it's a
Hollywood.
one-shot.
Leave Mendes alone.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And leave Brittany alone.
Because what's stupid though is you could fucking claim that that's a one-shot film because they used the same filming techniques that they did in fucking 1917. That's what's annoying.
Please don't ever compare 1917 to the trash that is Once Upon
No,
a
but
Time in Hollywood.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like, if they're like, oh, it's a one-shot film, 1917, we did it all in one shot, except we had to turn the camera off, move it, and
Here's
wait,
what-
and then blah, blah. You'd be like, cool. Well, I'm Tarantino. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a one-shot film as well because we did the same thing they did. Fuck it.
Here's what I can't wait for: is this weekend when you watch 1917, and then later on
And
when
you grovel to us.
yeah, you come groveling back to
I'm
the
not saying it's a bad film.
I've
just
never seen it.
saying.
I might come out when 1917 and be like, that was good. It would have been fucking better as a one shot.
It's true. Yeah, 1917 is just something astonishing. I can't believe that it's.
I am excited for it. Sorry, just to preface all of that, I'm really looking forward to
Yeah, me too.
1917. I have no problem with it. And
That was
the
annoying.
marketing, it's just a very small
I need to
issue
see-
that
I
I
need to
seem
see the
to
film again.
pick the
Are we
fuck
going
up
to talk
a
about
bug
Once
with.
Upon a Time in Hollywood? Are we going to talk about why it has an ellipsis after time? Why it has 9 other nominations
Once Upon a Time
in Hollywood?
in Hollywood.
we
Seems like he's going to do a series on.
We did a review of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
We did a whole review, so I would say if you want to hear our thoughts on it, go back and listen to
but
that.
Ryan wasn't in that episode.
I don't
so we
care. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, go listen to the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood episode. It's a part of our Tarantino bit deep dive.
yes.
Now we have the film that seems to have come out of fucking nowhere.
Oh, I've been
Bong
following this.
Joon-ho's Parasite,
I've been following this film for a long time.
which sounds like it's going to be very good.
He has not made a bad film yet, and I don't see why this will be any different.
Yeah.
I am yet to see it, and it's the film I am most excited to see behind The Lighthouse. So
I'm buzzing for the Lighthouse, though.
Yeah, me too.
Very
didn't get any
excited.
nominations.
It got
Got
best
one,
best
didn't it?
cinematography. That's its
Well,
only
there you go.
nomination.
And you know what? Because they said it was a black and white film, and they actually did a black and white film,
Yeah.
which is cool.
In one shot. They just didn't say it's just on the poster.
Is it one shot?
No.
Do you know my entire life has been done in one shot? So yeah, that is the best picture nominations. So
And it's just a bit of a it is yeah, like I said, it's a bit of a weird one that the fact there's what 4 films that are probably worth an Oscar, and then the rest of them just feel
yeah, I guess
thrown together.
After talking about those, like after talking them through, it's like Jojo Rabbit, Marriage Story, 1917,
and probably The Parasite.
and probably end up being Parasite. Or the 4 that I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
But the rest I'm just like either meh or fuck no.
One of
Who would
Parasite's
you
other
replace them
nominations.
If
The
you go
Farewell.
back to our films of 2019 and just take the 6 films that I said, put them on there, done.
The other thing I will say, if we're making our own Oscar rules, and so first one is we've got a jury of film goers,
Yeah.
right? Second rule I'm putting in, you can't be nominated for more than three things. Like
Okay.
because it's
This is also a weird nomination. It's nominated for Best Picture, but it's also nominated for Best International Feature Film. Sure,
Yeah.
that's the same nomination twice. Why does it matter that it's made a
They do
different
that-
country?
That's what they did to Roma last year, so they gave it Best Foreign Language Film, and so that meant they didn't have to give it Best Picture, so they gave it the Green Book.
so they can give
Phil,
it to
no
an-
one can see that you got your hand up.
Question.
give it to an American movie.
1917 is technically an international film, then, is it not?
Yeah, most of it's filmed here.
It's a British film.
Yeah.
But it probably had a.
But why is that not
But it
classed
might
as
have had-
international in the
Because
eyes of
the
the
because the
Americans?
Parasite probably knows they're not going to get Best Picture because it's a foreign film. So they're like, right, we might as well fucking cover our bases and stick it in Best International because something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but why
whereas-
is 1917 not an
It
international
might be
because
film?
1917 haven't applied for that because they're
Or
like,
maybe
yeah,
they
we
have
can
and
go
just
up against
maybe
the
they
big
have and
boys.
just didn't get nominated.
That's fucking dumb.
19
Do you know why?
might
Because it's got
also-
English speaking people in it, Phil,
There
and
you
fucking
go.
English speaking
That's
people
what
are
I was
racist
saying.
as fuck.
I was just going to say it's probably because they're part of like American organizations like SAG and stuff like that, so they
It's
can then
fucking
be
dumb.
a part of.
I think the
They'll
3
have
film
crews that are
limit,
American and stuff like that.
3
so.
nomination limit is the best. Like because then you would be forced to have more like a bigger variety, right?
Yeah.
Because the problem is it's like Joker, for example. So it's like, oh, it's under the Best Picture category. If it's Best Picture, it must have Best Writing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't be Best Picture unless you're the best sum
think-
of all your parts.
I think that what the Oscars need to do is get rid of Best Picture.
yeah,
Because that's stating that Best Picture is like you have the best writing. You have. So what the fuck's the point in all these other?
Well, but then
like, nominations?
I agree with you on that. Or you do if you get a Best Picture nomination, you're exempt from the rest because
Yeah.
you already have
The Best Picture.
Best
yeah.
Picture. Like it's fucking.
I'm on board for this.
Yeah, we should do our own Oscars.
I'll happily do my own Oscars.
Shall we try and shoot through actors in a leading role? This is where it gets grim. To be fair, so we've got Antonio Banderas for
like the
Pain
way
and
you say
Glory.
grim.
Leonardo DiCaprio. That's a fucking joke.
Was it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked his performance in that. I wouldn't, again, not Oscar worthy. I liked his performance though.
Adam Driver for Marriage Story.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Skywalker there.
Joaquin Phoenix for Joker.
Joe Queen.
For like what you fucking call him, Joaquin Phoenix, Joaquin Phoenix, and then we've got Jonathan Pryce for the Two Popes. Jonathan Pryce is Elizabeth's father in Pirates of the Caribbean. That's the only thing I've ever seen him in.
Watch him in.
All he does in Pirates of the Caribbean
The
is
wife.
says Elizabeth. That's it.
Elizabeth, no.
In the movie The Wife,
Takes off his wig at
when
one
it's
point.
him and Glenn Close, she says to him, "You have a tumultuous cock." So
What is
That
tumultuous?
is not
mate?
even remotely close to what happens, Gavin.
Jonathan Price has a tumultuous cock.
And Gavin's trying to pretend that it's Glenn Close that thinks that, but it's not.
Hey, you should watch The Two Popes.
I mean, I feel like we spoke about most of that. Jonathan Bryson, Two Popes, I've heard is pretty decent.
Pain and
I've heard The
Glory,
Two Popes
I've
is
not
pretty
even
good.
heard of.
Which one?
I've not.
I've heard really good
me.
things about it. I've yet
Heard
to
it's-
see it.
I've now read about it while sitting here. And
What,
I've heard
like
it.
The Two
Sounds good.
Popes?
Pain and Glory.
Pain and Glory. I haven't heard of that at all.
I mean, I think we all know that Joaquin
Antonio
Phoenix.
Banderas plays like a sort of an actor past his prime.
Right.
Is he not a
Very much
filmmaker?
like Antonio Banderas.
Yeah, he's typecast.
Yeah.
It's very clear Joaquin Phoenix will win this for the Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix will win that.
I have no problems with that because he fucking made that film. Without him, it would have been fucking.
It's a shame
nothing.
because I think that people need to really start realizing that Adam Driver's a fucking great
Adam Driver
actor.
is the boss.
Adam Driver. If Joaquin Phoenix was not in that, Adam Driver would win that. His
100%.
Marriage Story performance is insane.
Whereas Leonardo DiCaprio should just go sit in a toilet and give up because I don't.
I'll
care
never
anymore.
forgive Leonardo DiCaprio for winning Best Oscar for The Revenant instead of giving it to Eddie Redmayne for Danish Girl. And the only reason he got it is because of fucking Instagram, Facebook, and
Social
Twitter
media,
hype
yeah.
of like, oh, he needs to get an Oscar. He needs to start making good films, and then we'll think about it.
It's true.
Okay, actress in a leading role. Let's do it. We've got Cynthia Erivo for Harriet, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, Saoirse Ronan for Little Women, Charlize Theron for Bombshell, and Renée Zellweger. I think you know Renée Zellweger's still alive for Judy.
I've
She's
seen
only 50.
just.
Judy was surprisingly good. I went into that not knowing what to expect. Came out saying,
What's it about?
Judy Garland.
Okay.
But it's the late years Judy Garland when she's.
I'll be better.
I was trying to think of
from
famous.
Richard and Judy.
When
I was
she's
trying
in-
to think of famous Judies, and I was like, "Is Renée Zellweger just made a film about Judy Dench?"
she's like a pill-toting alcoholic who's just fucking losing it completely.
The story of my life.
It's good though. It's genuinely quite good, and Renée Zellweger does give a solid performance in it, and it's pretty heartbreaking.
I think having not seen 3 out of the 5 of these films, mainly because Bombshell isn't out yet, and I missed Harriet and I missed Judy, it's probably just going to go to Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story.
What about Saoirse Ronan for Little Women? You've just praised her for quite a while.
She's brilliant, but I think this is the one that Scarlett Johansson's going to take because of that film and what she does in it.
Let's move on. Actor in a supporting role. Tom
No,
Hanks.
wait, we're not doing this one.
Are we not doing this one? I mean, we ran through that last one pretty
We
fast.
could just do director and animated feature because we're running out of time.
Yeah, do director.
Let's just go right. So Tom Hanks, Anthony Hopkins, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, and Brad Pitt. Fucking get someone for a supporting role who's under the age of 40 and is not past it. Anthony Hopkins will win that. Actress in supporting role: Katie
No, I
Bates,
think
Laura
Joe
Dern,
Pesci.
Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, and Margot Robbie. I'll probably go to Florence Pugh. Class if Scarlett Johansson won both.
See, your thing earlier, just have one category for
Yeah, like Scarlett Johansson can literally win Best Supporting Actress and Best Actress.
Yeah.
How pointless of a thing must it be?
Animated feature film.
That's just the win.
We don't have time.
No, but I just fuck
It
off.
is mad.
What?
It's you can't.
Like, you
it
can't
shouldn't
think of
be.
another person to nominate in either
Yeah.
lead actress or supporting actress. I'll just give it to
Aquafina.
Give it
She
Aquafina
deserved better.
Give it to Aquafina for The Farewell and give Scarlett Johansson supporting actress for Jojo Rabbit. Done.
Yeah, there you go.
Idiots.
You do realise even though we picked Scarlett Johansson for both of them doesn't mean she's going to get it. We're not Oscar.
It's
No,
so
I know,
stupid.
but it is dumb.
So we have animated feature film How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Klaus, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4.
I have seen 0 of these films, so
So-
I'm not going to say anything.
Toy Story 4, nah.
I have not seen Toy Story. I stopped watching Toy Story films after 3.
It's fine. Toy Story 4 is a nice change of pace for what they do as well. And it like I spoke to you about this before, Gav. It does do something different that Toy Story's been needing, but I wouldn't say, compared to the other films that are on that list, it's
Also,
still,
from an animation standpoint, they're trying something a bit different,
yeah.
which is quite interesting.
It looks nice animated wise, but I always think,
They're
what?
trying to emulate like actual like film lenses and stuff now, and they're getting weird with it.
Yeah.
They're getting weird with it.
I think
now.
the whole
Weird with it.
there's this weird thing just now, and it's like having animated films looking as much like a live action as you want, and I'm like, that's not what I'm there for. Whereas
Yeah.
films like Klaus, for instance,
Klaus, Missing Link.
and also I Lost My Body kind of take it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Lost My Body a fair few stages actually to try and keep the animated style, whereas How to Train Your Dragon and Toy Story are like, let's make this look as much like a film as we can. And
Yeah,
it's not really
lots
what
of
I want.
stereoscopic lenses and whatnot.
Yeah.
On that list, I give it to Klaus 100%.
Yeah, me too.
think Klaus
I
is
mean,
fucking
we're also being
phenomenal.
like, oh, we should animated film should stop, being so futuristic. And last year we wanked each other off over the collaboration of Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. But anyway,
But it still looked like an animated film.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the thing. However, what annoys me with the animated film section, though, is it's like animated film, it seems like if you work on animated film, it's like, yep, there's your category. That's it. That's it. You don't get. Rarely does an animated film get fucking anything else
like
in
a voice
score
actor.
or voice acting or anything like that. It's just, yep, you get the animated picture, done and
Yeah,
dusted.
that's it, done.
The Oscars are a
That's what I
fucking
meant.
broken system. Like it really needs a fucking revamp. That's
100%.
How can we do it?
These last 2 years have been real bad.
How
right,
can we
director,
do it?
let's do this fucker. Oh, I don't want to.
I'm being serious, Gav. We're making direct. How do we do it?
Not in this episode, but another episode we
Discuss
can
that.
do that.
We're going to plan the
watch through.
Oscars.
Let's fucking do it. Let's next
After-
week. We'll plan the Oscars.
Here's what's going to happen.
We need a new name for
is,
it, though.
Is we're going to watch the Oscars. They're going to be a fucking train wreck. I'm going to be left angry afterwards, and then we'll
or
revamp
maybe
the Oscars.
everything will be fine.
Nope.
We got Reddit, right? We could easily put up our rules for the next, like, the new Oscars, right? We'll call it Oscar 2.0 or new Oscar or some bullshit like that. People will fucking jump on it.
Shall we talk about director, or should we just say that Sam Mendes is going to win?
Sam Mendes will win, but
He won't. He won't win.
What are the nominations?
Martin Scorsese, Todd Phillips, Sam Mendes, Tarantino, or Bong Joon-ho.
Todd Phillips a Joker.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
yeah, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Like,
I don't want to do a live episode of the Oscars.
I do.
You see
I
now
don't.
we've done this. I actually don't
I
anymore.
really do.
I was up for it.
I'll
and
do
now
it
I'm
by
not.
myself.
Last time we done it, it was fun-ish, but it was just depressing, and it's going to be depressing again. It's going to be depressing and boring
It
watching them
will be fun though. Won't
wank
it?
off
It's
Joker.
going to be fun though. The thing I'm going to say about the director is it's something I was going to say about Toy Story 4, but I decided not to because now I'm saying it. I'm just going to stop talking. Is that when it comes to nominating Martin Scorsese and nominating Quentin Tarantino, or nominating DiCaprio for Best Actor and stuff like that, it's like when it comes to the Oscars, after a while, it's just like, oh, let's just give these people nominations because
People know who they are.
Yeah.
it's like when Meryl Streep always gets nominated or DiCaprio always gets nominated. And with Scorsese and Tarantino, it's just like you look at their films and you look at what they did with those films. It's like we've seen them do these films before and so much better.
But you have to remember that the Oscars is a business like everything else. They have
Yeah,
to
I know,
make
that's
money.
the
They
thing,
have to
like-
draw in viewers. So
like-
if they have like random sort of Sundance upcoming actors for everything, people are like, I don't know, fuck that. I don't care. I'm not going to watch it. You have to have your big people that everyone's heard about, and that's why it's always going to be stale because they have to bring in old blood all the time.
Imagine like Philip saying earlier, like Aquafina from The Farewell. Also, the director for The Farewell.
Yeah.
She 100% deserved a nomination for Best Director for
100%.
what she did. But it's like, oh, let's give it to two men who have done the same thing over and over again.
Do you want to touch very lightly on the fact that women and people of color have been snubbed royally?
Oh, this
Royally.
and they keep doing this thing where they're like, last year there was obviously things like Last Black Man and Black Panther in the the lineup
Picture.
for Best Pictures, and they're like, oh, it's okay, we did it last year, it's fine. It's like it's not a thing that you can just fix by doing it once. Like, and that also means that like people. So for instance, say if like Green Book as well, the winner of the Big Picture last year it's an entirely racial film, but now they're seeing that we're going back to this pretty hefty white list of films. I mean, you've got like obviously like
Mine
the
is
fact
Parasite.
that Parasite is
Mine is
like,
Parasite.
But again, I think also putting Parasite in an international film category means it's not even being recognised for being
It
a
won't
big
get
film.
recognised with the Best Picture.
So and also see for people like last year, like Green Book winning it, they're like, well, we were clearly just a fucking covering your back award.
Yeah.
It's not only is it making it look bad for you this year, it's diluting all the people you give it to last year.
The other big problem I'm like just coming up with here, the fact that they have an international film award, the fact that we have two options for Best Actor and Best Actress.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck? Because then it's like all it's going to take is someone to be like, well, why don't we just put in Best Black Actor and Best Black Actress, and then we've got their whole own category. It's like, no, fuck off.
Yeah.
Just fucking make your categories more.
And they don't even have to be sex based as well. Like, why is
Yeah,
Best
no,
Actor not
exactly.
just one big list of people?
Why?
Best
Why the fuck
Actor,
not?
Best Supporting Actor, done. Easy.
I mean, the problem is if you just do it with just one, you're going to have a case of like, oh, there'll be barely any women nominated, a bunch of men nominated.
But it's the
if
same
you-
amount, there's
but
just-
having them split up, I mean, there's going to be an equal chance for 5 women and 5 men to get their
Yeah, exactly.
the scene. But then it then brings us back to the problem. It's like then you look at director, and it's like, well, why don't we have the best female directors and the best?
Well,
male
why don't
director?
why don't they have like they're splitting up
Yeah.
actors and actresses?
But
Why is there not best
I mean,
female,
here's
best
the
actor,
thing,
best
it's
male
long
director?
enough as it is the Oscars, and no one cares about half of the fucking. I mean, remember we did our live recording last year, and when it came to like, oh, best costume design,
We talked about Spider-Man for
We were talking about
ages.
Spider-Man or fucking Adam Lambert's in Queen, and just being like,
Yeah, and they put like they announced like best picture and everything at the end.
Yes.
Can we not
Because
can we
they
watch
wanted-
the end of the Oscars?
I'm up
but
for
it's
that.
the experience of me getting drunk sitting through all of it. It's remember when I ran away and jumped onto my bed because Green Book won like 4 awards before it even got Best Picture.
Yep.
That was so much fun.
Green Book was such a turd.
It was such a piece
I like
of
Green
shit.
Book. I liked it. I don't like.
You haven't
I
listened to
really
our
liked
episode on it then.
No, you know, I
It doesn't do the job
I
it
stopped
wants to
as soon
do.
as Gavin started fucking crying about
It
it.
doesn't do the job it wants to do at all. That's the biggest problem with it. Anyway, anything else to say about the Oscars?
No, tune in.
Tune in.
to our-
We'll be putting up a live episode of the Oscars. It's
Not live.
not live.
Yeah, but you know,
sorry.
our live
A
reactions.
recording, live reaction. I think this year we'll probably edit it
a lot.
Heavily.
heavily.
Audio
compared
Boy's
to
got some
last time.
ideas of how he wants to work it, so we'll employ some of those.
We can get it sorted. Guys, thank you for listening. That is our pre-thoughts of the Oscars. As you can tell, we are...
Excited.
I'm really enthusiastic
Yeah, I'm
to
not.
watch Joker win everything, and then I just punch a hole in the wall.
Yeah, it's going to be a shit show. But outside that,
Why do we celebrate mediocrity?
we'll be back next week with our reactions to the Oscars. Thanks for listening. As always, you can get in touch with us through all the usual stuff. I'm not going to go into it because it's just a bonus episode. You'll find out next Thursday. Thanks for listening. We'll be back soon.
Peace out. Music is life.
It's meandering movies, listening to Gary, Ryan, and Gavin. It's all about films, but goes off course. Will there be arguments? Of course, 'cause everyone knows their lives are dull and they have nothing else to talk about.